Good morning from Los Angeles. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Trading with Sergio, Monday edition. We're back on regularly scheduled programming. Last week was hectic for me, so I missed Power Hour. I missed a whole bunch of stuff. So apologies for that, but then gotta do what I gotta do. Hope you had a great weekend. I posted the StreamYard link right up here on the chat. I don't see anybody in the chat, but if you do feel like coming on, grab it and come on down. We're gonna have a busy week. Today's a little bit of a ho-hum nothing day. It's kind of a setup day. Um, the tariff news obviously popped the markets at the open, but it's kind of gave back the gains, except Nasdaq. And I don't know how much more of a good news those tariffs will be. Settling the tariffs anyway. At least we may be done with that episode. It started, as we know, April 2nd and Liberation Day, and we look like we have come to a resolution, with the exception of China, which the negotiations were extended for another 90 days, so kick the can down the road kind of a thing. Now, if the market wasn't as at all-time highs, I think it would have been a much more substantial pop this morning. But since we've been grinding higher, it could be a little bit of the buy the rumor, sell the fact news kind of a situation. We have major earnings on Mag 7 coming up this week, a bunch of them, Apple and a couple more. But we have a full docket of economic data that's coming out. So let me look at my phone. And so tomorrow, kind of important data actually. Nothing today. That's why the market's kind of trying to decide what to do. Consumer confidence data coming out tomorrow, Tuesday. Again, tomorrow, Jolt job opening data coming out. Wednesday, second quarter GDP. Quite important for interest rates, obviously, as well as bigger decision, Fed and interest rate, Fed meeting and interest rate decision on Wednesday. They announce it at 11 a.m. Pacific. The market's not looking for a cut this time, but definitely looking for a cut in the September meeting. Then on Thursday, we'll have June PCE inflation data. And Friday, we'll have July jobs report. I mean, this is as full as it gets. With the volatility being as low as it is, I expect some volatility to come back into the market. Will that show itself in a pullback? Potentially, but I don't expect much of a pullback. Although internally, a lot of stocks are moving, having major moves. Yeah, that's the economic calendar. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do trading with Sergio every day this week, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, concluding with Friday's Power Hour, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So this will conclude the July daily live. So I would love to hear your input. If you want me to at least continue trading with Sergio at least twice a week, like maybe one Monday, Wednesday, and then conclude with Power Hour on Friday. Either put it in the chat or shoot me an email, sergio@sergioavedian.com. What you guys would like me to do. The important thing is for you to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you get notified if I'm doing an impromptu, let's say, trading with Sergio kind of a episode. What else? I've been cleaning up, taking some small losses, trying to, I'm on a drawdown of about 3% at the moment in the account. I just hit an all-time high last week, so that's quite expected. Couple of the things that I'm long are not participating, and a couple of the things that actually I'm short. I could be considered actually net short the market. I'm long and short. I'm never 100% long, 100% short. Looking for a pullback in the market. And if we get it, we get it. If we don't, then you take your losses and you move on. You cut the drawdown to a minimum. I have a couple of stocks I'm watching that I really want to pounce on, actually, but decent size. We'll go through those in a minute, the positions, as well as some watch lists, names that I'm considering. So Meta Mike says, I enjoy getting your daily trading with Sergio. Yeah, I know. I appreciate it. It's when my schedule was like last week's, I don't know how I even squeezed a couple of them in there. Missed Friday, obviously, Power Hour, but had an important lunch meeting. So this week's it looks pretty decent, but then, I'm on the West Coast, so all the emails will start coming in. Oh, we got to do this on Wednesday. We got to do this on Tuesday. But I tried to do it, mostly after 11 a.m. or after in the PM hours. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just turn on all notifications. You get notified. So what's going on? The market is doing what it's supposed to do. Grinding higher. Really, really, just the ranges have gotten so tight now. Complete opposite of what we were going through during the crash. We're having 5, 6, 7% ranges today. Especially last week or so, ranges are down to 0.5%, if that. For example, today on Friday, this grinding higher is going to conclude with something. Like they say, quiet before the storm, to the upside or downside. I don't know which one it's going to be. Valuation wise, the Buffett index and things like that, you can't trade short term with those, obviously, but the valuations are extremely stretched in individual basis, and as well as the stock market itself. So but then again, doing short term swing trading on macro is difficult, but you should be aware of what macro's doing, obviously, and you should be aware of what the economic calendar looks like. Like this week is just massive. Not only you have the May GDP and unemployment report, and then you have the Fed meeting on Wednesday. So I expect the volatility to start picking up starting tomorrow. We may end up exactly where we are, but then volatility is going to be introduced into the marketplace to a certain degree. VIX being as low as it is at 15 and change. That's been the range this year, between 15 and 18 when market's going up, and obviously over 22, 25 when the market's going down, with the explosion that we had into the 40s and 50s, but that's usually the bottom. Yeah, that's where we are. Again, I put the link up here. Let me put it up again. If you guys want to come on, you're more than welcome to do so. Here it is. Here it is. There you go. So what else? I'm going to actually talk about a couple of different things this week, probably tomorrow and Wednesday. One of them is who's holding the bag. So look out for that. Who's holding the bag, meaning who's holding all these trillions of dollars of debt, right, around the globe? Who is it? And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the credit card delinquencies and subprime card loan delinquencies shooting through the roof. Part of it could be the immigration story. If you get deported, what are you going to do? You're not going to take your car with you. A lot of it may have something to do with that. I'm looking into that, but those are important issues. I mean, look, you may have your ideas about or your thoughts about, immigration policy, the new administration's immigration policy. With all these deportations, these people were contributing to the economy, like it or not, maybe on a cash basis, maybe under the table kind of a basis. They were working, they were purchasing things. The effect of, 9, 10 million people ultimately getting deported could have some effect on the economy because they're consumers ultimately, right? They pay sales taxes, even if you buy something with cash. They have cars, insurance, all that stuff. So is that the reason why subprime, and most of them, since they don't have credit, even if they were able to get credit, they got credit to buy cars with subprime loans, and those at every bank, they're just going through the roof. Credit card delinquencies are going through the roof. So does that show the weakness of the consumer, or is this nothing to look at? But time will tell. At the moment, market's not paying any attention to anything, honestly. The only thing for the bulls that could be disappointing was that today they probably expected a massive gap open because of the tariff settlements with EU, which we settled at 15%. Obviously, the administration called it a major victory. We'll find out. But I think this Wednesday Fed meeting is going to tell quite a bit where the Fed is. But as we know, Fed is, the administration is trying to replace Jay Powell. He's not going to do it, but he's going to be a dead duck, right? Sitting duck. But then again, is it, I'll talk about that this week as well. What will the markets react, or how will the markets react if the Fed's independence is taken away? If the Treasury is basically running the Fed as well? We haven't had that for a while. So, reasonably independent Fed, running the economy. When it gets too hot, raising rates. When it gets too cold, lowering rates. But then again, when I talk about who's holding the bag, there's trillions and trillions in debt sloshing around the globe. Does Fed really have any power to do anything with interest rates? I don't think so. So, yeah, that's where we are. Let's go to the positions real quick. Here we are. Hope you guys can see this. Yes, you can. There we go. Okay. Where are we? That's the positions. Hold on a second. There we are. So I was about 14, 15 positions. I cut them down to, as we can see, the highlighted ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. So I'll start at the top. I'm short 2,000 shares of Joby Aviation. I will add to the short stock starts breaking down. It's down about 5%, 17.25 on the low of the day. Opened at 18.5, so today may be the top, but then we'll see. We'll press on it. I added to my Lithium America position. I'm down a little bit, but I don't look. I one way or another, I don't like dollar cost averaging on losers. But financials of this company are solid to a point, meaning they have about $2.10 in cash, net cash in the books. Stock is $2.84, so you're getting the rest of the business for 65 cents. Stock is $2.84. My cost is $3.25. Actually, it's a little bit less because when I bought the stock at $3.25, I sold the weekly options expired. Worthless was 13 cents, so my true cost is about $3.12. I'm down about 30 cents. I will buy a couple thousand more shares, average down, and chuck it on the way at a break even or a small loss. I am short 20 put credit spreads on NUGT gold, but today dollar is rallying, so gold is pulling back. I'm watching that really closely. Position is about even, because with the money that I took in from the put credit spreads, I went and bought in a 2-to-1 scale. I went and bought a call debit spread. The strikes are there. FYI, I will post all these positions as I usually do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the community page of the YouTube channel. None of this is trading or financial advice. If you're interested in tagging along, you're welcome to do so. Do your own due diligence. What I do is not for everyone. Not everyone. What I do is definitely not for everyone. Account size comes into play, risk management comes into play, so I do those really well. And I am about 70% cash at the moment, so you guys understand. On this NUGT trade, if the dollar keeps getting stronger, gold sells off, I will close this position, take a small loss. Next position is I'm short 1,500 shares of SoFi. Earnings are tomorrow morning before the open. I sold some puts against the short positions. I sold the 21s, 20.5s, and 20 puts this morning because the implied volatility is very juicy on those. And if the stock is below 20, I will get a sign close the short position with decent profits. You guys are seeing open, but that got called away. That was the perfect trade last week that we put on for 3 days. That was it's called a long strangle. Long the stock, short to put, short to calls. well, it ended up above the short call price by 2 pennies, and then I got called away. So I may put that back on again this week, depending where the stock is at. It's on OPEN, Open Door. Next one is Soundhound. I have 10 lot synthetic. Definitely have a little bit of a loss on that position. They're going out to September. I'm short the 13 puts and long the 15 calls. Stock is 11.36. If I do get I took in about $2.15 on the puts. If I do get assigned 1,000 shares in September, obviously I have many choices to roll, to close the position, take the loss, whatever. If I do get assigned, I don't mind owning 1,000 shares of this stock. That's about it. I wouldn't go any heavier. Last but not least, I'm long some spider puts, index puts. They go out to October 15th. They are the 630 puts. And for the last 4 days in a row, I've been selling 0 DTEs at 630 level, taking in money, lowering my cost basis. So I'm long 35 puts and I'm short 35 puts. 0 DTEs will expire worthless at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure, unless we get a massive sell-off. We're at 636.86. So I will do that one more time, look for a crack, make some money on the puts and get out. So if you look at it, I'm short 2 stocks, long puts on the index. So I would call myself, at the moment, I will call it, net short. And we'll see where things are going to go. As I said, I'm on a little bit of a drawdown, about 3%, because the puts that I bought on SPY, I paid about $5.25 for them. They're about $4 on 35 of them. That's about $3,500 loss. So, but again, I say everything the way I see it. Full transparency, losses, gains. We'll see what happens. Any GT I'm really watching closely. I don't need headaches. The setup is beautiful, but then sometimes they don't work out, and it's almost like a AAA setup actually. But you have to be careful with these things. So no need to have a massive drawdown here. What else? That's about it. That's where the positions are. So we're looking for a sell-off. If we do get a sell-off, on my Robinhood account, I'm long 45 WRD puts. Not WRD, what am I saying? Long Joby puts, 45 with a cost of 30 cents. They're 30. I will post those as well every Friday. But for my members, I post my positions, or live trading actually. When I do execute something, I post it immediately, so they have access to that. If you're interested in supporting the channel, becoming a member, please click join, send me an email, sergio@sergioavedian.com, and I will send you the Telegram chat group link. That's only for the members. Yeah, that's where we are. So we're looking for a sell-off. Maybe we will. And let's go through some charts. Actually, we are getting a little bit of a hit here, which is fine. Let's see where my puts are on Joby in the RH account. Well, I'm short 2,000 shares, so I'm not selling puts against that. That's for sure. Where are we? Yeah, maybe I'll sell some at 35 cents if it gets there, if we get a crack. 45. So let's put that order in my Robinhood on my phone. Okay, that's where we are, folks. And that's the positions. We definitely are getting a little bit of a push here to the downside now. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. So these are the charts. Let's go to the big charts. This is the SPY. We are right up against that trend line this morning. I'm not looking for a big pullback, maybe 3 to 5% max. So probably back to we have been above. I don't recall us being above. I think we've been above the 220 EMA for 50 some days now, which is amazing, really. If you guys look at this grind up, pull back to 50 EMA or pull back to the old breakout level of 615 would be good for me, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see where things are going to be at. Let's see what kind of sell-off we're getting here. Yeah, we're getting decent sell-off here now. That's the 2-minute chart. Okay, well, we'll see. That's the SPY. This is the triple Q. Same chart, pretty much, grinding higher. Not much to look at. Apple earnings are this week. Going sideways. That's the only Mag 7 that's kind of underperforming. Everything else is doing great within the Mag 7, especially NVIDIA. Yeah, new high today on NVIDIA. I mean, but there are some bearish divergences developing on all these charts, so I'm being very careful with what I'm doing, especially the long end. So I'm watching two stocks. AIVA Technologies is one. I want to be all over this. It gets down to 19. Tesla is having a counter trend move today, up 11 today, 327. Still going sideways after that big gap down on Monday. Well, not Monday, after the earnings last Thursday. It's recovering and it's squeezing itself inside the wedge. So I will patiently wait, but I will definitely trade not Tesla, but TSLL. It's squeezing itself inside the wedge as well. So be careful trading these 2x ETFs, folks, because there's slippage in here. The other one I'm watching closely is Lululemon. I'm looking for a bullish divergence developing. I would love to buy that thing about 205. It's about 216. Like I say, 3 Ps, right? Last week's video, patience, position, and planning. You have to let it come to you. You can't do much anything. This is gold. Yeah, selling off. We retested the high, selling off. The reason is the dollar index is getting stronger. Big day, actually, on the dollar today. We're right up against the 50 EMA that we've been riding down. If the dollar is going to rally, gold, Bitcoin, stock market may not do as well, but we'll see. So I'm kind of hedging with that anyway. Let's go through the positions, actually. This is Joby. Potentially double top. If we take out 17 today, we may get a little whoosh to 16.5, which will be good for my short position. This is SoFi. Earnings are out tomorrow. I've been selling puts on this for a long time now, for at least 3 weeks. Sold the puts again this morning. I don't think it's going to run too far, but selling the puts, what it does is it's called a cover put, short the stock, short the put. So that's where we are on that. LIC, the one, actually, I'm going through the positions now. I mean, it looked really good and then rolled over. I will add to it about 280 range and hopefully get my butt out with a break-even situation. And yeah, that's where we are. As far as other stocks that I'm watching, a lot of these nosebleeds are so overpriced that I want to short them, but then I don't want to get my face ripped like ASTS. Another one is Rocket Lab. Pulling back, of course. In fact, in the chat, I said, I want to short. I had a list of 10 stocks. I want to short all of them and come back in 10 days. I would have done well if I just followed my own advice. HIMS is another one. There's groupies. I have a good video coming out this week called Groupies. People just follow these stocks religiously. My group made really good money on WeRide. I keep telling him stocks are to be bought and sold. That stock was as high as 11.5. They all bought it about 7.5 range. That's 50+%. You gotta take those gains. You got to take gains. And it was short time, like 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. I will definitely buy WeRide back, and it's not the same range, probably higher, about 8.5 range. That's actually that's the Waymo of China. What else am I watching? Nike having a nice day today. Pull back to 200 EMA and beautiful, right? I mean, textbook actually tagged the 200 EMA after it broke out on the earnings. Now that's the second higher high, actually 1, 2, 3, third higher high Nike is making. You know, Bitcoin is hanging in there about 118, 119. It's not selling off. What else we got? Some of the quantum computing stocks are selling off a little bit, but everything should sell off, honestly. The Palantir, you know, putting an outside day to the downside. Yeah, that may have been the end of that. But look, stocks making higher highs, higher lows. There's no questioning any of these things. You know, don't create biases. You know, people create personal biases. Oh, it's too expensive. I'm like, I don't know. Expensive things stay expensive. And there's Hood, had a little 10% pullback, and then moving back up again. On all of them, MACD is on a sell signal, so these new highs may not be confirming. So I'm really being careful with all of that. And you know, this is the SPY. Yeah, we're getting a little decent sell-off here now. Let's see. Yeah, just long position in gold. The rest I'm short, so it should work out, hopefully. The only one that's troubling is, you know, I was on a synthetic. I turned it into a put credit spread instead of anything else. Let's see if open is in the situation where it should be. Yeah. Let's see if we can do another covered strangle there. No, I wouldn't do it. I wait until $2 probably to do it. But let's see the option valuations for Friday. So last time I bought the stock at 230, sold the 250 calls and $2 puts for 40 cents, and I got called away. So it was like 5,000 shares. It was fantastic, really trade. So $2 puts, yeah, they killed the premium. Last week they were 450 IV. This week they're 195. Yeah, the 2 puts are nickel, not worth it at all. And 2.5 calls are 20 cents. Yeah, they killed the IV on those. Not worth it unless I can get it maybe in the low 2s to 10 range. So that's why when trades present themselves, folks, you need to take it. You can't just say, oh, let me wait, let me do this. You just got to get it when it's presented to you. And so let's see where we are. What do we have here? Give me 1 second, folks. Okay, let's cancel that. That's history. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see where we're going to go. Yeah, the short puts with the 0 DTs are going to be okay at the moment. The short put side, anyway. They'll expire at the end of the day. And the long puts should do well if we get a 2-3% pullback. So yeah, that's where we are. Anyway, so if you guys have any questions, please grab the link and come on. If not, I'll end it short today. Watch the market a little bit closely. Yeah, if Joby breaks 17, I think we're going to get a whoosh here. And I'm short the stock. Let's look at the 1 minute. Yeah, we're getting a sell-off, all right. Yeah, we need this double top rollover probably, it looks like, anyway. But you never know with these crazy stocks. Yeah, it's on. WeWap is not until like 13 and change. So it's the hourly chart. Yeah, this level right here. 1665. Next level is about 1565. If we do break 17, though, we should get a 30-cent move, and then I'll take some profits on my Robinhood account. Yeah, the market's selling off now. Let's see where it stops, if it's going to stop. Anyway, let's answer some questions, and then I'll say goodbye. All right. I'll show this. Hey Vic, how are you? You've been quiet lately in the chat anyway. Good morning, SJ. Hope you're learning. Yeah, I will try it, Meta. I really will. You guys know I try. Luis made good money. Great trade on WRD, Luis. Seriously. Great trade, bro. And hopefully my other member did it too. I mean, well, everybody was long WRD from 7.5, 8 levels. Chucking it up over 11. What a beautiful trade. You just can't go wrong with things like that. Yeah, so that's where we are. You guys have any questions? Post it. I can just stay here and watch the market with you guys. Other than that, I got nothing else to say. Let's see. Let's see. And Robinhood, what's going on? Yeah. What do we have? Good question. No, I try to stay as far away as possible from that game. One, there's a couple of reasons. Obviously, I don't know. Two, even if because the implied volatility is increased so much before earnings, the chances of you making money is going to be, even if the stock moves your direction, is going to be pretty low. So I tried to stay away. If anything, I tried to sell premium. Like on SoFi, I sold the premium because I'm short the stock. And if stock goes nowhere next couple of days, those puts I sold will expire worthless. My cost basis will go up. I'll do stuff like that if I have a position on something. But I will not open new positions. So even if you go buy a straddle, let's say, right? You're up or down, you're protecting yourself. But the implied volatility is so high, you're going to put out so much premium that you making money is going to be really, really difficult, even if it works out for you. Especially, if you go a month out, you maybe. But a lot of people play the weekly options. It's difficult. It really is difficult. So I try to stay away from that. What's up, Mojo? Okay. Well, breaking even is fine. You got to learn the first P. Patience. Obviously, your position size were correct, but patience. You got to have some patience. You got to allow, I don't know which puts did you have, but you got to allow the position to work for you. And you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. So today, actually, I have a really good video coming out at 12 Pacific. It's called Masterclass in Options. It goes through my open position. It's about the covered strangle we put on last week. Worked out beautifully. So you guys should go check it out if you want to learn. I have 2 of those coming out this week. One is going to be on the covered strangle. The other one is going to be on how I put on synthetics. Would put credit spreads sometimes with just puts and calls, sometimes with put credit spreads, spending the money on a call debit spread, all that good stuff. So I think that one is due either Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. But I'm naming those series Masterclass in Options. So you guys will learn quite a bit. You guys will learn it in action as opposed to me just talking about it with examples, with what I did, with how I did it, why I picked the strikes I picked, how far do I go out, why do I pick the expiration I picked, and things like that. So check those out. I have another one coming up on the win rate this week. A lot of people pay attention to the win rate. Like, what's your win rate? What's your win rate? I'm like, I don't care what my win rate is. I just look at my account equity. Win rate means nothing. If I understand correctly, the best time to okay. Yeah, preferably. preferably, because you're putting out premium, although I try to do my synthetics and get credits on all of them. So you have to be able to structure it enough to get some credit, so you're getting paid to play. Not necessarily when IV is low, but number one, obviously in options, right? 2Ds, direction, duration. You got to pick the right strikes. What kind of move are you expecting? How soon are you expecting? Because as you guys know, option will expire on you. So if they do expire and nothing happens, what you're expecting doesn't happen, up or down, at least you're getting paid to play. So you look at the efficiency of the position, meaning how much, it's costing you in buying power to put the position on. Okay. And are you getting maybe at least 5-6% return a month, even if nothing happens? Even if things, all the synthetic expires worthless, are you still making money? That's the way I look at it. That's my starting point. IV was 100 on Joby. Yeah, it's going to stay high. It's going to stay high. No, you're not Mr. Boring. Actually, I have a good name for you. Your screen name on the Telegram. So we're giving ourselves nicknames on the Telegram chat group. So I took my name from the trading desk 30 years ago. So I'm Iceman, and because my members agreed with me, because I don't get rattled when things go wrong or go right. I'm pretty much level. I don't panicking like the president says. You all panicins, not pelicans, panicins. He made that word up. I love that word, actually. He was like, you guys panic and you become a panicin. Not Mr. Boring, but Mr. Steady. I think that's a good name for you. I think you're Mr. Steady. Yeah. So if you do like it, put it in the chat, Vic. So we're going to name you Mr. Steady. What about selling puts on N? Nope. Not touching any of that stuff. I'll take a look, but no, I think you heard that on TJ probably. I'm not touching that stuff. I'm not touching any of that stuff. I have over 250 different stocks in the watch list. Like I said, I'm going to pound on AEVA and Lulu when they get there. I've been doing buy rights and put credit spreads. Yeah, buy right. You know how much I love cover calls. Okay, cool. Whatever's working for you. Whatever's working for you. I know, that's why I call you Mr. Steady. You don't take too many directionals. You know what you're doing. I'm not concerned about you. Yes, definitely. Better than Mr. Boring. I mean, look, you're involved in the market. You can't be boring. I mean, the market has been boring for the last week or so, but I think, like I said at the opening, I think volatility is going to pick up quite a bit this week. So when you're involved in the markets in any shape or form, especially derivatives, options, selling puts, things like that, it ain't boring. It's not. So Mr. Steady is your nickname. I grant you Mr. Steady. That's what I'll do. So everybody, meet Vic, Mr. Steady. And yeah, so let's see. Let's see. So we got to sell off. We're going a little bounce. Yeah. Where are we? Yeah, that's the first sell-off that we had for a while. It's a 2-minute chart, so I don't intraday trade. I don't day trade. But what I do is I watch a 2-minute, 2-day chart, 10-minute, 10-day chart. That's the 10-minute. I mean, VWAP on the 10-minute is 630, 382 today, so it's way out there. And we'll see. We'll see if we get a pullback that I'm looking for. And I watch a 30-day, 60-minute chart. So everything is above moving averages. I don't see much. Maybe some little whoosh like this, like this and then just get out of my puts, but we're just not getting it. We're just not getting the sell-offs. At some point we will though. And it may be premature at the moment. So Joby went down and bouncing 20 cents. Yeah, Joby's key level is going to be about 1550. If we take out 1550, that thing is going to die. That thing is going down to 13. So we patiently will wait for that. As long as the top is set in, then I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, did we break 17? No. Yeah, if we break 17 today, somewhere around the close especially, I think tomorrow's open could be really interesting. Yeah, we just literally tested it to the penny, the old high. And we'll see if the MACD gives us a sell signal. I'll feel better. But this thing is selling 2.5 times its 200 EMA. Yeah, things don't work out like that. You know, trees don't grow to the sky, my mentor used to say. So, gotta be careful. You know, because you get caught up in the adrenaline rush. Oh, I sold puts, made money. I made calls, this, that. Yeah, but this is the SPY 2-minute chart. So it's the first time we're under 200 EMA, all the moving averages. So we're into resistance now. But then there's buyers galore. They did that again this morning, ripped it. Again, ripped it. Are they going to rip it at the end of the day? Or are they going to give up the ghost and we're going to have a couple of days sell off? We'll see. Market's definitely overbought. Way overbought. So we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, even when the market goes down, those puts don't go up, which is kind of depressing, really. But we will have to wait. We have to be patient. If we're going to get a 3 to 5% sell-off, if we're going to get, we're right at the trend line, upper Bollinger Band. If we're going to get even if we get down to the 20 EMA, which is 625, my puts will print bigly. So we're waiting for, look how narrow these ranges are all the way up, with the exception of 2 days. When we had some economic data, we would just keep grinding. It's narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower. Can't keep doing that. We did that last time. We had the little rollover, narrow, 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 and then the range got really wide. So we'll see. We shall see. There isn't much to do for me, honestly. Actually, I want to look at my Lulu and AEVA. Yeah, that's not going down, but we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Yep, just holding it together. That stock was 38.80. If I can get it for 19 to 20 range, I'm going to be all over that. And if I can get Lulu at 205, 200 to 205, I'm going to put that in my long-term, investment account. Why am I liking 200? Well, that's why. 200 EMA, right at 200. So Lululemon is basically selling what it sold for in 2020. 5 years. Trading different, of course. But if you bought it in 2020, you're exactly even. That's why it's called dead money. But, not every stock could be bought and held like Palantir or NVIDIA. People just go like, oh, yeah, I've been holding. Yeah, if you bought Lulu 10 years ago, you're great. You're like still 5x, although you were 7x, 8x, maybe more. 10x, actually. Wow. But if you bought Lulu and all the way actually to 2017 at $50, it got up to 500. That's 10x. Where are you going to get 10x? In what investment? But then if you became a pig and held it, and now you're only up 4x, okay. And you're going to say, well, ultimately it's going to go to 1,000. Yeah. Or ultimately it could go to 50, back to 50. So, you know what we say. Bears make money, bulls make money, pigs get slaughtered. So always be mindful of that quote. And anyhow, that's, oh, you guys didn't even look at that, did you know? All right. Here's a question. Next year? How about tomorrow? Look at the bank, man. If the rates get cut, they may benefit from it, but they already pumped it. What is the earnings on SoFi? 6-7 cents expected. Let's take a look. I mean, people make things that are not. I talked about that quite a bit, actually. There's a video coming out. Don't create personal biases. It's just a stock. It's just a bank stock. People get into, it's a technology company. Whatever. I don't pay any attention to any of that stuff. But let's take a look. Let's look at SoFi's earnings. There's your SoFi. SoFi has been, actually, SoFi came public October. Look at that. We're not even there. If you bought at the IPO, February 2021, 4.5 years later, you're back to even. Next year. Okay, let's take a look. Everything is getting pumped, man. SoFi is a bank. Don't fool yourself. I mean, my opinion again. Okay, so for next year, I have no idea. So let's look at the earnings. So 2 quarters ago, earnings, 4 cents. Came with 5 cents, beat by 25%. Big deal, 5 cents. Okay, last quarter. Earnings estimate 3 cents. Came with 6 cents. Beat, pretty good beat. And this quarter, estimate. What is the estimate? Estimate is 6 cents. I'll probably beat. Okay. So let's put the 4 quarters together. Estimate was 4 cents. They came with 5 cents. Estimate was 4 cents. They came with 5 cents. Estimate was 3 cents. They came with 6 cents. That was a good beat. So 5, 5, 6, 16. Rolling annual. Let's say they come up with 8. 25 cents. Stock is selling at 20. What is that? Okay, next year, let's say it's 50 cents. Still next 2026, 2027. I mean, 2026, if it's 40 cents, 45 cents, still selling 50 PE. Banks don't sell at 50 PE, bro. And that's why that thing on the crash went down to $8. So all I know, next year, expensive. It's expensive here at $20. You can say, oh, but they're going to have crypto. Oh, but they're going to do this. Well, if they start cutting rates a lot, maybe their loan portfolio will perform better. Not too many defaults. Their margins will improve, but that's already priced in. It's a perfect, I mean, I'm short. I'm not negative on it. I'm short for a trade. But, yeah, no opinion other than that. Hopefully I answered that question. Yeah, I'm not in love with it. A lot of people make up too much of something that is not there. They make themselves believe that it's something. I'm like, okay. Mr. Steady saying high delta is 35.45. Wow, you're getting aggressive. Okay. The buy rise living make premium sounds okay. Yeah, that's cover call. You know what we say about cover calls on the chat. And like, for example, if you had cover calls on WRD, okay, you had the 10 cover calls, kept you in, stock is 11.5, and now it's back to 10. You took in 30 cents, 20 cents. Why not take that extra 10, 15% and be done with it? And you're going to say, well, how do you know it's going to stop at 11.5? I don't know, but you would have gotten called away if it's above 10 anyway. But cover calls is not my cup of tea. I do it rarely, and if I do it, it's repairing a position. That means if I do a cover call, that means I'm underwater. Because then I don't want to deal with the rolling this, rolling that. I don't want to deal with it. I have better things to do. I got to make money. I can't deal with 2% a week. I mean, for me. For other people, it's fine. 2% a week is a massive amount of money. That's 100% a year. Yeah, that's my thing. Okay. Let's take a look. So you guys don't want to come on, huh? The link is up here. Right here. Right here. Let's take one last look, and then we'll say goodbye. One last look. SoFi. There are a lot of earnings coming out this week, by the way. A lot. SPY 630, 650. It's going to be our first red day. So if we make a lower low here, and by the end of the day, we get a little sell-off at the end of the day, as opposed to a buy algos coming in and absolutely ripping it. So every day there's a buy algo at 15 minutes to go. They just come scoop everything. Market's resilient, man. I mean, look, there's no bad news, there's no good news. It just kept grinding higher today. It's like, for a lot of longs today will be probably disappointing because they expected it to rip. But that's what market does, right? Market's a mechanism to make everybody wrong. When everybody's going to the right, you got to go to the left once in a while, not all the time. Being contrarian helps. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll pull out a green day if we keep getting selling off with the puts. Yeah, SoFi earnings are tomorrow morning. Is it risky for me to hold a short position? Yeah, it could go to 22, 23, but then that's why I'm short the puts. Puts will expire worthless, increase my cost basis. If it doesn't, they don't like it. They usually after earnings, SoFi sells off because they pumped it so much before the earnings. So if it drops to 17, 18, I'll cover my short position with profits. I mean, that's all I'm looking for. A lot of people go, oh, this, oh, that. I'm like, look, man, I'm just trading. It's called trading. You buy things, you short things, you sell things. It's called trading. Nobody fooled themselves. We're not investing. Well, I have an investment account. I invest as well. But my trading account, I'm trading. I'm not going to sit there and do cover calls and do this and do that. I mean, I said that before. I don't want to kiss my sister in my trading account. I don't want to blow it, but I want to make money. We all want to make money. Don't get me wrong. But what I want to do is I want to make, 5x, 6x, 10x of the benchmark. Otherwise, it's not worth my time. Anyway. Yeah, so far we're getting the sell-off. We'll see how it goes. A little bit of a sell-off. No panic. No panicking, folks. Yo, micro. No. No, it's not. Iron Condor is, I'll do a video on that. Options masterclass. Iron Condor is you're short a put credit spread and you're short a call credit spread. So if you do an Iron Condor, it's a neutral thing. You don't want too much volatility. You want the underlying value to stay between the body. So it's called a body. So, but an Iron Condor, you sell let's say stock is 10. The example would be selling the 12.5 calls and buying the 13 calls. So whatever they give you as a credit, because the call price is closer to the current price of the underlying, that's called a call credit spread. You're short a call credit spread. And then, let's say stock is 10, you sell a 7.5 put, buy an 8 put. I mean, sell a 7.5 put, buy a 7 put. So the short side is closer to the price, and the long side is a strike above or whatever you decide to do, however wide. So the 7.5 short put and 12.5 short call, with the underlying being a 10, is called a body. And then you put your wings on. That's why it's called an iron condor. We don't know. Nobody knows that. I mean, you may know in your local area, but you don't know. You gotta listen to the gaslighting of the government, man. Feels like economy is super flat as in Main Street, potentially. A lot of defaults are happening for sure. Credit cards and cars and things like that. Yeah, I'll do one on Wednesday at the Members Live. Give you guys an example. What I have is a synthetic with a put credit spread and a call debit spread, not an iron condor. Yeah, I want actually any GT to fly. That's what I want. Although with the put credit spread, it's limited risk to the downside. So my risk is set. My upside is not unlimited, but a lot higher than what my risk is on the downside. That's what I decided to do on that, as opposed to just pure synthetic, meaning your short puts, long calls. Yeah, we did that. We did that on. So go watch the Members Live. You remember? I have a video coming up on that as well, on how I measure things. It's part of the options masterclass, but go watch the replay of the Members Live from Wednesday. You'll see all of it in there. That's why you remember. You have that access. Yep. Vic says, that's very correct, Vic. As Clint Eastwood once said in a movie, a man's got to know his limitations. Yeah. Doesn't mean you cannot add tools to your toolbox, as I say it, but, you know, a lot of people do things without understanding the risk, and in options, you will get your face ripped. My particular way of doing options, yeah, exactly. Yep, that's whatever works for you is what is important. Nobody should trade the way I do, and I don't trade the way other people do. When you say 4-digit weekly returns, what does that mean? In dollar amounts? I don't know what that means. Well, we'll talk about that in chat group or members. No, I know that's why I called you Mr. Steady. You know, I don't want to see it, but I want to see how you handle a drawdown, right? Not exactly what we had in April, because I know whatever you did won't work there. Because you'll be so deep in the money with the puts, you're going to get assigned and you're going to struggle getting out. And, you can do that with this like slowly grinding market, getting assigned and sell at the money calls or aggressive calls to get called away and enhance your returns. But how do you handle when something, you sell a put to get assigned weekly put and it drops 10% on you? Now what are you doing? That's the key. That's right. Damn right. Big Macs are unhealthy for you anyway. Yeah, good money if you can do it. I don't think I can do 10K a week. If I did 10K a week, I get like 400% in my account. But again, to each their own. What they do, they have a comfort zone. You should step out of your comfort zone. As I've said this 1,000,000 times. You're like a carpenter. You should have all the tools in your toolbox, or a plumber, or whatever. Because there is a tool for each job. And stocks are like that. Trading is like that. As long as you know that you have the tool, and as long as you know that it could take your finger off if you use it incorrectly, That's a good analogy, actually. Then you'll be doing fine. But a lot of people don't have the tools, and they apply wrong strategy to the wrong situation. And then they go, what went wrong? Well, that wasn't the tool for that job. You didn't have the tool. So tool is the education. Tool is the knowledge. You didn't apply it correctly. You didn't structure it correctly. If you do, because it's all probabilities anyway. That's all we're doing. There's no guarantees. Nobody knows what the market's going to do next minute. I don't know. I have ideas about it, and I set myself up for it. If it happens, great. You make money. If it doesn't happen, you don't make money. You know? So buy high, sell low. You're getting, yeah, okay. Buy high, sell low. I think it's supposed to be the other way around. If I want to keep a stock, I'm fine with it. Yeah, but how? See, this is the thing. That's when you're creating the bias, right? You go like, okay, I'm fine with it. And so that means I set its head in the sand. Okay, I like Palantir. Okay, well, we don't know. You don't know. Okay, well, that's well, it's efficient for you, but for me, it's inefficient. I can't do it. I'd rather take my loss and get out, because then you're looking at opportunity cost. I'll be putting my buy right tool. Yeah, I think at least after this, we get a little sell off, so I can make some money on my puts. Then you can put it back out again. That's okay. Nope, you're Mr. Steady. That's your name. So we designate you Mr. Steady. All right, folks. I think we messed around enough for today. Tomorrow I'll be back. Oh, we're selling off some more. Last call. Yeah, lower lows. How do you like them apples? Hey, my puts are coming back to life. Okay. Yeah, now I want Joby to die. I should have another 1,000 share buy order on Lithium America. Okay. Okay. We'll see. Honestly, are we taking out the 10-minute? Yeah, we're taking that out. 633. Give me 633 by 634 by the end of the day. I'll be all right with that. Otherwise, we'll see. Anyway, folks, hope you guys had a great weekend. Be safe. Yeah, everything does. Everything does. Trees don't grow to the sky as good as the company may be. I'm doing them up to earnings. Yeah. Because with as little premium you may be taking, you got to be careful with that. All right, folks. Fingers crossed. Let's get a sell-off. I need a sell. Well, I don't need a sell-off, but I will take it. Make some money on the downside. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Trading with Sergio, Tuesday style. No. Doctors are doing God's work, saving people. I'm just honestly, I love what I'm doing. I wouldn't change it for anything else. Make some money, educate some people, teach them how to be financially independent through what I know. And I think paying it forward is a huge thing in my book. At this stage of my life, I have nothing to prove to anyone. I'm extremely secure financially. I will not take risks, obviously, because I have kids and family, this and that. I mean, I take risks, don't get me wrong. But I think paying it forward is a huge thing in my book. It may be in my genetics, I don't know. But if I can improve lives by, giving people the tools that they can use for life to become truly financially independent, because the government's not going to do it for you. That's a given. And You got to take the bull by the horns, man, you know? And there's this thing called trading. There's this thing called investing. It works. You have to do it. You have to. Otherwise, that dollar bill you're holding is getting put on fire by 6%, 7% every year. So you look at, I did something. You look at probably about LAC. You look at that dollar bill, it's losing 6, 7, 8% of its value every year. Every year. So you need to protect yourself and your family against it. Is that what we did? Did we buy it? Yes, we did. No, we bought 2 shares. We have 1,998 to go. 998 to go. Hey, those puts are 440. We're coming back, folks. What else? Joby's not selling off. That's interesting. That's the SPY. Oh, we're getting a little action here. We're getting, what did I say? Close 634? I'll take 634. And then I'll gap down tomorrow, make some money on those puts. All right. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to do my best. That's I get emotional when I hear shit like that, or read shit like that. I'm glad I can help you. I mean, what else is there to say? I'm glad you stuck around. I know you had a rough start, but I'm glad you stuck around. Like, I can't force anybody to do anything. First, they have to want to do it themselves. Then they have to commit. I'm telling you, folks, you're not going to get to where I'm at, but I'm not talking financially. You're probably way better off than me. But discipline, knowledge, education. All I'm asking to people who watch me, instead of flipping your social media, just take half hour a day. Half hour. That's it. Out of the 24, take half hour a day. Start reading. Start understanding. Start learning. Start putting those tools in your toolbox. And pretty soon, when the occasion shows up, the opportunity shows up, you go, yep, that's the tool for that job. And you won't need me. But if I had anything to do with your journey, man, it makes me feel great. You know, that's all I'm asking. Anyway, man, you too, my man. Take care of that little baby of yours. Definitely. I appreciate it. I again, you know, if you all met me when I was in my 20s, 30s, you would have met a maniac because I had to be one. But now I got nothing to prove. My account goes up, my account goes up. It doesn't mean anything. But if I can improve somebody's life, I can give him the fish now, but teach him how to fish forever. I think that's the best gift for me. And I'm not a huge religious person, but you know, I'll go to church at wedding to wedding. But I do believe there's a God. I do believe I'm going to go to the gates one day. And when I do that, and Mr. Big up there says, "You done some good work, bro. Come this way." That's all. Because, you know, I have a thesis about all this. The thesis is this. We all are on this planet, if we're lucky, for 80, 90 years, hopefully. But that 80 years that we're here, I look at it as like a brown paper bag. That's our shell. But there is something called the soul. Our souls are going to travel forever. I'm not a huge fan of reincarnation and all that stuff, but our soul is going to travel forever. So I'm just trying to make sure that when my shell is buried, the soul is free to travel and ends up at a good place, as opposed to be a fucking miserable person that most people are. So that's all I'm trying to do. And that's my belief. You guys believe it or not, that's a different story. Everybody believes something else. But I like helping people. I like sharing my information that has brought me success, and why not? What am I going to do with it? I mean, should I write a book? You know how those people are. They know a subject really well, but they write a book, they make more money by the book than trading. I don't have the time. But, so anyway, that's where we are. Amazing. 4 months already? Wow. It was like yesterday, bro. Enjoy it. Enjoy every day, because they change every single day. You too, macro. Yeah. Just to see if there's gamma squeezes taking place, things like that. Yeah. I have spoken about that during Members Live. I know you're a new member. I wish, I don't know where you are, what city you're in, but I wish you just, I do the Members Live every Wednesdays between 4:30, 3 and 5 Pacific. If you can come on one day, we'll do like a one-on-one, little quick one-on-one, like that. That's why I do the Members Live. And then answer all these questions. I don't know, just every Wednesday, just grab the link, like here, come on. We'll do like a individual, 5-10 minute session. I'll answer all these questions, but I do pay attention to it, but not when I'm doing options. But I do pay attention, like, for example, on Joby, and for things that are going parabolic, I do pay attention to options, gamma levels, because that's when I know gamma squeezes are happening. So this is all part of the education. Okay. Well, 1 week, just take 10 minutes off, 15 minutes off. It'll be worth your time. And we all have kids. I have kids. I take them to soccer, do this, do that still. But I think it'll be really, really valuable. 10, 15 minutes. I'm not asking for hours and hours. I don't mind answering the questions here. But I think you'll get more if we're like sitting face to face. And, yeah, try it. Try it every Wednesday. Just one day, tell your family and kids, hey, I have an appointment with the Iceman. And then grab the link and come on. I mean, they'll be interested. You tell your kids, I have an appointment with the Iceman. They'll be like, they may even join. So he'll be like, what's the Iceman? Like, it's this dude in Banana Hills. But, you have a leg up there. I mean, you're not saying like you have an appointment with, Dr. Zeus or some shit. So you just, Iceman. Well, ooh, who's this Iceman? Anyway, I'm being facetious, but I mean, it'll help you a lot if you can grab the link and come on. Anyway, so much love. See you guys tomorrow. Let's get that sell. I would like a 5% sell off this week. Yeah, listen to macro. Tell your kids, do you like money? No. You tell your kids, do you want to have a brand new Xbox or a PS4 for Christmas? They'll be like, yeah. Look, I don't know, but you'll grab their attention. Then you tell them, I have to go talk to the Iceman. And then, I think that's pretty good incentive for them to go, okay, Dad, you got a half hour, go do your thing. Anyway, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, 10 o'clock Pacific. Please put a thumbs up. Please share. I think it's good content. It's transparent. It's honest. It's what it is. And let's see. Yeah, please subscribe. Please share the channel. I think it's good stuff. And if you want to become a member, click join. send me an email, sergio@sergioavedian.com. You get special privileges that way. Not that subscribers don't, but it's more hands-on. It's more one-on-one, which is better. All right. Thank you, guys, gals. See you guys tomorrow.